ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh boy, we made it. Holy smokes. Happy New Year, everybody. I know it's late, but this is our first show of the new year, and we have got quite a show in store for you tonight. I'm excited. Right now, without further ado, as always, here she is, Miss Jack Ledoux. Hello, Jack.
Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
I am terrific, all the way from Cayley Avenue in Orlando, Florida. Beautiful downtown Cayley. How wonderful to have you here. How are you doing, my love?
Hanging in. Yes, very much so.
How was your new we're not even going to ask you how your last year was because we know already.
Yes. It was quiet. It was quiet and uneventful, to be very honest. Actually, you and I spent some time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I've been this past few weeks back to work and in rehearsals for the show that I'm directing. So
excellent. I'm glad to hear that. First thing I want to say is I misspelled Erick's name in the opening.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I apologize for that. That's why I said to Jerry Darkey there, we accept typos on this show.
I think it should be we expect typos in this show.
Typos. So, Jack, are you ready for this guy? Because this is going to be fun. I know it is.
I have heard so much about it, and you know I'm a non-magic person, but I love magic, and I love all your friends from the magic world, so I'm excited.
We're very fortunate to have them. We are very fortunate. What are you directing, Jack, real quick?
It's for Playwrights Roundtable. We do our shorts. This is sci-fi shorts, and these are all brand new, pretty much unknown playwrights, completely new plays. And what we're going to be doing, which is going to be really cool, is we are going to be filming it live at CFC Arts Pavilion, their outside pavilion, and then streaming it. So there will be no audience, but it will be filmed live. So it's kind of exciting.
Excellent. Well, let's, folks are here. I know they love hearing us, but they are here to see this guy coming up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Erick Olson. There he is.
Hey, good evening, guys. How's it going, Jack? Joe?
Really well so far.
Yeah.
Great to see you, buddy. You are coming to us live from where?
My magic bar in my house, my new studio. This is where I film everything right now.
Me too, right here.
Yeah.
In the magic shop at Tokyo Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
He goes back and forth all the time.
I've got different backgrounds for different occasions, but the magic seemed right. How are you doing, Erick?
I am doing the best. I don't know why this light keeps coming on. Hold on, let me cut this off. This is upsetting me though. We're talking about spirits. That bar light just keeps coming out without me doing anything.
Trying to tell you something, Erick.
Yeah, spirits. Here we go.
Spirits, most important.
Like the old line, the more you drink, the better the show is, right?
You're darn right, folks.
Yeah.
If you get a drink when you have the opportunity during the credits, you know what? You can always reach over, pour it, and go.
Right.
This is great. This is great. Erick, you have had, quite frankly, from what I know,
Okay.
you've had quite the career, young man. You truly have.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I had a lot of downtime lately, and I did think, and I really didn't appreciate as much as I do now. I started thinking about all the things I've done and the place I've been, and wow, I didn't know I was gonna miss it so much.
I get it. I get it. In
Whoa.
fact, I got that today. I went out to the Magic Kingdom and I snuck into the Diamond Horseshoe and I'm glad I moved. Well, there we go. That's better. I snuck into the Diamond Horseshoe and did some video. And, it's interesting how one can appreciate that more now than when one had it in one's lap. So to speak.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Someone was asking me today, actually, a place that I volunteer quite often during the week, that they were saying, "Oh, you're an actor, so you haven't been doing it much." And I said, "No." And they go, "Do you really miss it?" I'm like, "Yeah." We just miss the performing and everything about it.
Everything.
That is that is something, and you have to forgive me, folks, because I ordered some new glasses and they sent me the wrong ones and I can't see a damn thing.
Well, I look better, just so
best.
you know.
Huh?
I look better, so you know.
You look terrific.
Yeah.
We've got some nice. We got.
It's kind of funny though. You brought the horseshoe. You probably don't know this, but I was actually the fill-in at the horseshoe for like Terry Ward, under John Eakin, under the next person, under one more, and then I did the show.
Oh my God.
Maybe that wasn't a cool stage to work on.
It was the best. The first time though, it was hard to get used to watching everybody walk the parks as you're on stage. The doors are open.
Yes.
You would just see people walk. And that first time it did throw me off the first time,
Well, when I was doing it, we had the luxury of the doors being closed. Once the people were in and they were sitting down to eat, the doors were closed.
Oh.
We did a very formal show. It was a book show.
Okay.
It was a book show. And but to this day, and I mean this sincerely, I always felt as though I was filling in for Bev Bergeron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Completely different show.
Yeah.
But Bev was one of my heroes, and I can't help but to bring him up. I really can't. Wendell, that's very nice of you to say that you love the Diamond Horseshoe Show. I don't know which one you loved. There were a number of them, Wendell.
Yeah.
But
they were all. Yeah. There was never a bad one.
There really never was. Well, maybe one.
Yeah.
Maybe one.
You can text me later because I want to know.
Indeed. I could. A friend of mine, Ron Schneider. Sometime I'll send you the poem that he wrote, or the song about the Diamond Horseshoe. Ron was in the Diamond Horseshoe in California, under studying Wally Bogue.
Wow.
Yeah, that was some pretty cool stuff. So Eric, now I know we've been in quarantine now since, well,
forever.
Yeah.
Quarantine and then not so quarantine, and who knows what's coming.
Yes.
Since May, I think.
March. For me,
March.
my last gig was March. I think it was the 28th. I was in Vegas doing the last trade show ever in North America. And we got sent home a day early. And I still thought at that moment, this is going to be something I'll pass maybe 2-3 months. And I didn't know at the same time, all my clients that I had booked all the way up till now of this year were calling my wife asking for deposits while I'm doing my last show. She doesn't want to call me because she knows I have to work the trade show. Don't put that in my head. I'm thinking, no big deal. We're just going home a day early. People are jumping the gun,
Surprise!
Yeah.
Wow. Now, so you have not done anything since then?
Not very, very. I would almost call it nil as far as live. Club Med a few times have had me down there. On those gigs, I'm on an outdoor stage. They have all social distance, but they are literally so far away.
Yeah.
There's no energy, no anything. I am so beat up from doing it. I get excited to do it until I do it, and then I'm so beat up. And because you don't, especially open air, you don't hear the laughter. People tell me, "Oh, they're laughing in the back," but you just can't. It just evaporates,
I can certainly relate to that. I'm as you know, I'm pretty much retired. Well, most people would say you're full of crap, but I don't do much. But I got a couple of requests from very long time customers who wanted me to do their kid's birthday party, whatever. I said, look, the only way I'm going to do it is if they're over there and I'm over here.
Yeah.
And we're not going to. And so I redesigned everything to be that way. And that's hard.
Yeah, that's hard. And Zoom shows are hard too.
Yeah,
magic shows.
we did so many Santa, Mrs. Claus things.
Yeah.
And but it's very difficult to keep
Yes.
that energy, as
The
you said.
energy. You're working twice as hard to
Yep.
get this, to almost give yourself energy because you're not getting it back from them.
Well, you got it, buddy. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, but in the past, you've done some really cool stuff. I mean, really and truly.
Yeah. Well, not only have I done pretty much every theme park in Orlando at one point or another, for corporate events or working the boardwalk, right, or whatever, you know. So from a kid from originally Wisconsin, that was a big deal. I mean, I didn't perform Wiki Wachi for 3 years, open up for the Mermaids.
I saw you at Wiki Wachi.
Yeah.
I saw you. It was quite the surprise.
Yeah.
I remember that. That, my God, that was a couple of years ago.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in '96, I was in Japan. That's when I was in my Copperfield phase. So I had the illusions. I had to do this a lot.
Well, tell me now. As you know, I had been to Japan myself twice.
Yes.
And I did theme park work there. I worked for Disney, for Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah.
And I worked for Osaka for
Hey, watch it now. Yeah.
doing the Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
But I got to do some magic while I was there, and those people are just so cool to work for.
They love it. They love magic. They appreciate the art. They appreciate the art, I think, more than they do in the United States, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go along with that. I'll go along with that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So where were you in Japan?
I was in Inoutori, Japan. That's 2 hours south of Tokyo. So the bullet train would take 2 hours to get to Tokyo.
Wow.
Yeah, in a hotel called the Inoutori Hotel. And it was me, a gaucho, a singer from the Philippines, and a juggler. And they kept us all, you stayed right in the hotel on the bottom floor. The 10th floor was where the stage was, and you do 2 sets in the evening for the people staying at the hotel, and did that 7 days a week, 1 day off a month, but I'm doing 12 minutes and 2 shows. You can't complain about working 7 days a week because you're really doing,
So basically you were doing, wait. I hate you.
Yeah.
2 shows a night. Yes.
2 shows.
2 different shows.
2 different shows.
But only 6 minutes in each show?
12 minutes in each show.
Oh, 12 minutes in each show.
Yeah.
Okay. 24 minutes. That's
24 minutes,
rough life.
Yeah.
Were they long apart? Were they hours apart, or?
About an hour and 10, if I believe correctly. And everything was push button. They were even in '96, they were so high tech.
Yeah.
Once they're all ready, they would just say, "Are you ready?" And we'd say, "Yeah." And you push the button, and the curtain opens, the music plays, the spotlights. We had a pin would follow you. So they had no other.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now,
nice.
On the minus side, if you're not on your spot when the curtain comes down, that curtain still comes down. You get hit in the head. You have to hit your mark with the music because the computer, it doesn't stop. Unless there's an emergency, then they can stop it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I thought I had a rough. I did have it rough. Obviously, I was doing. Oh my God, 5 or 6 wand keeper things per set.
Wow.
And we did like 5 sets in a day.
Yeah.
And then we didn't live in the hotel. Okay. We lived at a place away.
Miles away.
Yes. We had to walk from the back of the park to the front of the park, walk from the back of the park to the front of the park. And then we would either get on our bicycle and ride home and take a ferry across, or we would take a train and then get on our bicycle and ride back to our home.
Yeah.
So much different, but we had 2 days off a week too. So it was,
but still, just that walk alone, and you already had a long day.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh,
Let's just say he was very thin when he came back from there too.
Yeah.
And then I put it all back on, and now I've taken it off again.
Yeah.
And we'll see how long that lasts. And no, it's going to last a long time. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to go back. But so, did you meet any Japanese magicians while you were there?
That's a good question. Even though I went to Tokyo, I didn't go to any magic shops. I still regret that because with 1 day off a month, I want to do Tokyo Disneyland, Akihabara. There's so much stuff you want to experience in Japan, and you're with the rest of the entertainers. We want to hit McDonald's every time because You know, we
because it's McDonald's. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But the magicians I met, believe it or not, were working in other shows. So they were all from either England or other places.
Ooh.
So it's kind of funny that the magicians I met, I didn't meet any Japanese magicians when I was there.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I was very fortunate.
How about yourself?
I was very fortunate in that respect because I wasn't there to do magic, but I went to like 5 elementary schools at least while I was there and did a magic show in English and as much Japanese as I had, which was just enough to get me in serious trouble.
Yeah, I know.
And the kids were wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Of course, you were probably working for adults for the most part.
Yeah, adults. Yeah, and they had to, they were more high-end executives where what they would do, they come in, they'd do the bath, the big Japanese bath. Then they would have a really nice dinner. Then they'd usually be with a geisha, but the modern geisha. Only 1 or 2 I ever saw the real geishas. I don't know about you. Those are the big high rollers. But the young girls and they would eat and drink with them, watch a show, laugh, and then that was their evening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in Osaka, which is right by about an hour and a half from Kyoto.
Okay.
The original capital. That's old. There's a lot of old stuff there.
Yeah, I never went. I didn't go up there. Yeah.
Whole section of town that's where the geishas hang out.
Wow.
So yeah, I did get to see a couple of real geishas. And they're not what everybody thinks. They are not hookers.
No.
No, it's a whole different culture.
Yes.
There now that culture does exist there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not as squeaky clean as everybody thinks.
No.
I found that out quite by accident by walking into that section of town where all of the hookers were.
Yes.
They literally, Eric, have little storefronts.
Oh, really? I didn't see them when I was there. Yeah.
There's little storefronts, the garage doors is open, and they're sitting in there on these pillows and stuff, knowing that this American has no earthly idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
And it was hysterical. But they were so lovely and welcoming.
Yes.
And it was the mama sans would say, "Yo, fat boy." I mean, literally, come here. Geez. It was very funny. Very funny.
And Joe, what years were you there?
Oh God. The last time was 90. Oh God, no, 2000.
It was in the 2000s. It wasn't that. It was 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
5 years ago for Osaka, and about 10 years ago for Tokyo.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was 2 years in Osaka. 2 years.
Wow.
And do you think I can speak Japanese today? No.
No, but you got to admit, it does slip out. Every once in a while, I just go, "Dozo onegaishimasu," or
I actually, I found myself saying, like, to Spanish people, they'd be speaking to me. I go, "Hi,
hi."
And I'm like, "What the?"
Mushy mush. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, and then when I would screw around, mushy, thinking somebody's calling me. A friend of mine, no, it was the Japanese people calling me, and I hope they didn't think I was making fun of them.
Yeah.
So, crazy stuff. But that's awesome. It's so wonderful to talk to somebody else who lived over there and worked over there and got some of that experience.
Oh, it was probably the best experience of my life, really. I love that country.
How long were you there?
6 months. I was supposed to be there 3 months, and they extended us twice.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there a year, and they said, "You want to stay another year?" And like an idiot, I said yes. The first year wasn't so bad. The second year, I was starting to get I'm really ready to go back and have a steak that's not $95.
Yeah.
But they treated us very well. So now, you've done. I don't know if you know who Harrison Carroll is. Do you know him?
Yeah, of course. Trade joke. I met him at 4F a few years ago.
Is he not an awesome guy?
He is awesome.
We have that in common as well. I used to go to 4F every year when I was at the Forks Hotel in Buffalo.
Wow.
That was 15 minutes.
That's the real 4F. It's not like it is today.
That's true. Back in the day, it was upstairs, no air conditioning. It was hell. I went to one in Batavia, just one. Yeah. And that was fun because I got to do my, I was a big fan of Jim Zachary, and I did the dissecting thing. And Zach said, he said, you made that into something. I said, no, you did. I just took off on it.
Yeah.
And I actually got to do that act and got some nice, very nice things said about me
Good.
by some really important people. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so cool. So
yeah, I
cool.
miss Jim.
Oh, Jim, what a guy. What a
Yeah.
guy. What
Both
a
him
guy.
and his
Well,
wife. Both him and his wife.
Oh, both of them. Yeah. Yeah. They're both terrific people. She's still with us, is she not?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
Lovely lady.
She's
Just
right
a
here in
lovely-
Lakeland. That's where I'm at. She's here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in Lakeland.
Yeah, I usually don't admit to it, but what the heck?
Hey, listen, everybody's got to be. Hey, listen, I'm from East Orlando.
Yeah.
But Eric is also a family man. He's got a lovely wife right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
There she is, who I think keeps him on the straight and narrow.
If we put that on there, my girlfriend's going to find out I'm married.
Oh my God! And probably
Eric,
Huh?
she knows.
She knows.
I think we saw the girlfriend and the wife in the same picture.
I know. I think we did too.
Exactly.
No doubt in my mind, and
Yeah,
more
you are right.
certainly, I'm sure that best friend as well.
Yeah.
She's a lovely lady who keeps things running.
Yes.
I think.
She does all the bookings, all the handling, all the callbacks. If every time let's just say it was a normal year, she'd already, let's say in December, I was whatever I couldn't do in December, she'd already be making the calls to tell all the clients that couldn't get me this year. You could sign them right now. So she'd already have next December booked now if I would have had a normal December this year.
I would love to have one of those. My
Yeah.
gosh, I gotta pay mine. Well,
Yeah.
so do you. I guess at the end.
Yeah.
Of the day.
Yeah.
He's also.
I have to ask for the money. Can I get a new deck of cards?
That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
He's also a family man. There is a lovely family.
Oh, what a beautiful
Those aren't
family,
all
Eric.
mine. Let's get that straight real quick.
Well, how many are yours? There at least one that I'm aware
Just the
of.
one in the green, my daughter, and my son in the blue, Jake. The two on either side of me. But those are two friends that they've had for years, and they're still good friends with them.
Oh,
Jake is rather an accomplished young magician in his own right.
You know what? He was more. He wouldn't want to ever be called a magician, but he was really getting to the card artistry. He would do all the weird cuts and stuff, and people would go, "Oh, did your dad teach you that?" He goes, "No, my dad can't do this."
Yeah, I know. Actually, I do know that.
Yeah.
He would hang around. He would hang around with Mar and everybody. And
Yes.
talk to us.
Yeah. Now he's
But,
almost an official firefighter. He's passed school.
Wow.
Now he has to take his state exams.
How awesome is
Awesome.
that?
Yeah.
And you can tell
Awesome.
I said so too.
Yeah.
I knew this kid when he was
Yeah.
a little guy. And Eric is always very protective of his son at conventions and that sort of thing. As you can see here,
Yeah. You don't fall asleep at a magic convention, no matter who you are. You know that's a rule.
absolutely not. And look what they did to this child. My God.
you will become a prop.
No, wait. You're gonna love this. You want to go back to the picture real quick, and we're gonna tell you a really great story. So originally we were gonna do all that to him, like draw him and stuff. Then
Right.
my buddy said, he goes, "You know what? We can just do Photoshop on him
Oh,
and make it look like it, and then we're gonna have the picture out in the morning, so he thinks he looks like that." He ran to the bathroom to wipe everything off. He had nothing on him. That's all Photoshop.
Okay,
that's awesome.
that makes this photograph 500 times better.
Yeah,
quite frankly.
and when you really look, now you can tell the pizza's just fake on the head. And
Yes.
yeah.
It makes me feel much better knowing it's not child abuse as well.
No, it's all. But if you would have seen him in the bathroom and wipe everything off, and then nothing was on him, he was so confused.
But
How old was he there? Eric, how old was he there?
Well, that was at Daytona Magic Convention. Boy, you know what? I'm gonna just guess and say 8. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I
When you
that's
said-
my nephew.
When you said when were you in Tokyo? When were you in Japan? I was in a right panic because I have no earthly idea.
No, I know it starts blurring together, doesn't it?
Time is.
Now, Jack, you never went to Japan, right?
No. I feel like I've been there after talking to Joe for so many years, though.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, a couple other really good friends of mine
Okay. I
are
don't know if you do a
actually
performance
are
or
actually
anything.
from Japan, and they are musicians.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
Eric has been an entertainer for most of your life. Am I correct?
Yeah, I started doing magic in 3rd grade after seeing the movie Houdini with Tony Curtis.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly the same, buddy. Exactly.
Yeah, so good.
Only you're good.
No, yeah.
Houdini was good. Tony Curtis, but Houdini was good.
Yeah.
Eric apparently could sing.
Yeah.
Ah.
Don't pick me out. How in the heck? That was like somebody sent me that on Facebook when they're like, look I found one of our school pictures.
This is what I do, Eric. I find
Yes.
the most embarrassing photos I can find and post those.
Oh yeah, that's me pretending I'm Carrot Top for Halloween.
Thank God you told me immediately.
Yes,
because
I
know,
was
it's best
not
I
going to
can
say
do.
Carrot Top. That was not where I was going.
Yeah.
I wasn't entirely sure. What do we got here? Jerry is saying something here. I can't tell what it is. Let's see what Jerry said there.
I don't know, but hey, speaking of, I like to say hi to a couple people I saw that popped down there. I saw Wendell, and I saw Jerry, I saw Dan.
Yep.
So hopefully they haven't dropped off yet, but I saw their names.
No, actually, Jerry was just saying some of the best magicians are from East Orlando.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Guess where Jerry's from?
Yeah.
I'm glad you can see that, Jack, because I can't see a damn thing.
Yeah, I know, sweetie. That's why I'm here.
Amazon's getting these back tomorrow.
Yeah, Jerry's great. You got to admit, great guy.
We've got.
They're all great guys. I'm just saying. Yeah.
So many incredible performers here in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned Bev, of course. Who?
Yeah. Now, is it true? Did you do the very last interview?
I would be that guy. Yeah, I would be that guy. Sadly, it was technically it was a catastrophe to a certain degree, but Bev was so on and so hot that night.
Yeah.
He was so Bev Bergeron.
Yeah.
And it was just like sitting in the I used to work at SeaWorld years ago with him, and it was like sitting in the SeaWorld dressing room and hearing all those wonderful stories.
Yeah.
And thank God we've got that video now. I always say that. And we wanted to do another show. Unfortunately, we didn't get to that point, sadly. But Eloise was integral in making that happen, and his daughter as well. So we thank them for that. Well, we've got Bob Swadling. We've got incredible performers here in Orlando that we're very lucky to have. And I sometimes
Terry Ward.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I watched Terry out at Disney any number of times, as I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah.
But his performance at the Genie convention this past year, who cares? Who cares? I don't remember the guy's name that didn't show up that he replaced, because
who was that?
Terry was.
Yeah.
Terry was so on.
Yeah.
And so he was perfect, and you can see all of that Disney work just happening. Just happening right there. We were very fortunate.
And you know how many times I had him at Wizards over and over. And every time he's like, Eric, they've seen me 1,000 times. And I'm like, yep. And we never get tired of it. Like, it's funny. He doesn't realize how much we don't, even though he'll throw in some gold, something new. We don't care. We just be Terry Ward and we're happy.
He's exactly. We're just like seeing, just like Bev. Same thing.
Same like Bev. I'm so grateful. He gave me a couple of his glasses for that appearing glasses, and I'll treasure those forever.
Oh yeah. I've got the Willard book, and I've got some DVDs that he sent over, and so much good stuff. And I want to do a tribute show to him, but everybody's doing that. But I may have to do one just because it's my thing.
Yes.
We got here. We've got Jerry saying.
Terry. He was saying, Terry, rock that convention.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And Eric, I can see you doing the same thing, quite frankly. And I don't understand. Have you done any conventions?
Yeah. You know what? I just did last year. I did the Maze convention. And I loved it. Those group of guys up there. If there was, I wasn't booked this year, but if it was going to go on, I was willing to fly up to go, because that was one of those conventions that everyone makes you feel like family right away. That you're like, I don't want to get paid. I just want to do it. What can I do?
Yeah.
To come
That's
back.
The Magicians Alliance of Eastern States.
That is correct.
Why do I know that? I'm from Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
So I know that. Yeah, that's a great convention. I would go up to attend that again.
Yeah. It not only they had amazing acts, but it was nice too, because I got to do a little bit of everything. I had to do a little bit of close up, which a lot of people don't get to see me do. Of course, I emceed, one of the evenings, which I really like doing the best, because you got to admit, there's sometimes at these conventions where they just run a little too long. And I am one of those sticklers, like, how long do you want it to be? Well, it can go from here to here. No, how long do you want it to be? Because I will tell an act to
I hear you, buddy. I hear
or
you.
whatever. I can just go out there and introduce to save time. I don't need to do something every single time.
You know
Like
what, Eric?
some
I hate to
MCs
tell you,
do.
that's an art form in itself. I have a really good friend of mine who is an MC, and he makes his living doing that. It is an art form. So kudos.
You have to run, and I've done a lot in the last few years. I do a lot of MC work for corporations, stuff like I've been fortunate enough to get flown to Vegas just to MC conventions, but they don't realize, you know, when they see you up there and you're boom, 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 they just think, but you control that room. You have to make sure whoever's the speaker is there on time. You got to make sure they have water. You are in charge of that room. Anything that goes wrong in that room is your fault, not any of the things, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well,
And you
I
have
think
to
you
be
were
very
MCing some of the shows I was on.
It helped though, having little wizards running that every night made me a better professional MC when I go out, you know?
Which, let's talk about wizards.
Okay.
I was flattered when you asked me.
You were phenomenal. Yeah,
Okay.
you did it 2 or 3 times.
I did it twice. The second time, I was having a little bout with the diabetes. It was a very difficult night.
Yeah, I think I was in Vegas that night or something.
Yeah, you were.
Told me.
Yeah, you were. TC Tahoe was with me that night.
Yeah, TC's great too.
Oh yeah, and that was quite the honor, and it was I got a standing ovation that night. That was pretty cool. That was
that cost me a lot of money too.
I can't imagine you papering the house in such a way. But what a fun night. What a fun place. Wizards, for those of you who don't know, is a little theater in Kissimmee at the Sierra Lago. Hotel. And Eric brings in some pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah, we ran it 10 years. And basically some of the names that I think about that I'm still wow. I mean, Jonathan Pendragon did my little room. I mean,
really?
Think about that. It's 50 seats in a back room of a hotel. Jonathan Pendragon, Shim Lim before he did AGT. And
which
of course, Amar, Doc Eason, Shutagawa. Eric Jones. I mean, anybody you can think of that's probably been on AGT. A lot of them have, been in my little tiny room.
Really, really. Oh, there's Harrison Carroll right there.
The trade show expert right there.
You ain't kidding. And let me tell you, one of my true. I'm very proud to call him a friend, and one of my heroes in magic. Believe it or not.
You got to admit, when he was in his prime doing trade shows, he's been not done for years. He if not the number one in the top 3 best trade show magicians ever.
Easily. And I'll tell you, if you ever saw him work a room at the Forks Hotel, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. He owned it. It. What a great performer. What a great one of my favorite people.
No, I worship him. I probably wouldn't have done trade shows if I didn't read so much and learn about him,
Oh yeah. And he sold me my first Frady Cat Rabbit, which I still have.
Wow.
Yeah. It's right over there. There. Over there. Start there.
It's somewhere over there.
There's more. You have no idea what's in this room. But and Eric and Harrison just said, what did he just say? He just said hello to us.
Hello to us.
Hey.
Hello, Harrison. All the way from Buffalo. Freezing cold up there.
Oof. Yeah.
Not exactly pleasant right down here right now either.
No, pretty cold.
But what not too kind, too true, Harrison. Too true. I'm curious, what companies have you worked for?
Anything from Dell to I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, a lot of software companies that you probably never heard of that usually last about 2 years and then they get bought out by somebody else and somebody else. I've done IBM. I've done a lot of smaller ones like one of my longest running clients, Security Resources. They put security guards, like when you go to like Marshall's or Macy's or anything you see with security guards.
Yeah.
They're probably the ones putting them in. And booked me. I'm sure Harrison probably remembers his first company that booked him. We had no business being on the trade show floor, but for some reason they liked us and ended up being a 12-year run with them. I would have been there again this year with them if it wasn't for everything.
I think like anything else, years ago, my hero in the business was Walter Matthau in the acting business, and I said I got to meet him, and I said to him, I said, "What do you do? How do you do it? How do you learn it?" He goes, "The best way to become an actor is to act. Get out there and get all the acting assignments you can."
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it's the same way in our business.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough with the Forks Hotel or any number of, I think Harrison might have said this. We have the place to sometimes go and be bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's hardly any of that anymore. Even before this.
Yeah.
That's for sure. There's very, very few. El Alfonso just sent a picture. Oh God. Of clown shoes. Long story. Won't get it.
I saw Al last night.
Yes, you did. We talked about you.
Yeah.
We talked about you at lunch today, as a matter of fact. We did. I think. Yep. Harrison just said yepper. Yeah, we're very fortunate. I think we're very fortunate in that respect. I don't think you can be good until you've been bad.
Yes.
And I think that's in everything, unfortunately. Yeah.
Or how to take the bad and flip it where it becomes good. And you're like, now, even though it was a bad moment, you end up maybe sometimes keeping that moment because you've been able to flip it and make it work for you. The bad moment worked for you.
I can tell you that my entire career is based on that. Mm-hmm. Especially
not saying a word.
Yeah.
I don't, everybody says, "Oh, you got to script everything and you got to do that." I say, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I don't work like that either.
No, I can't. I mean, if they give me a spiel to say about something, that's one thing, but I can't,
Well, Wizards, that's why another reason that was such a great room for 10 years. I would break in new things. Here's what I learned in that room. And some people agree, and some people would disagree with what I've done. I would actually sometimes work on things even that day, because to be honest, when it went wrong, I had some of the best laughs at Wizards. So I was sometimes happy when it messed up. Just that laughter in the room was worth me not putting 100% in. Does that make sense? Because I knew if it went over, then I would really keep working on it. And if it went bad, I knew they would still have a good time watching me fumble through it.
And it was such an awesome audience because they knew what they were coming for.
Yeah.
And I'm reading here, Dan Irwin.
Yes.
Writes here that he sat beside Lance Burton at Wizards.
Yeah. If they didn't perform, we had names like that would just come into the show. It was It was crazy. When Lance goes, will you have an extra seat for me? I'm like, I'll take Dan Irwin and throw him out of his seat for you, Lance Burton.
Yeah, you're freaking Lance Burton, of course. You want to sit in the front? Where you want to sit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And we talk about you've met some pretty cool people in your career.
Hey, even though that's superimposed, I do have a real Ricky. I really did meet Ricky Jay. If you want to hear that story,
that wasn't a real picture.
No, that's somebody. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I'm trying to walk this fine line because, all right. So, I was getting done with a corporate event and I had to land in North Carolina and then fly to Orlando. There's always that little thing, and I'm sitting and I was looking on Facebook, and it's funny. I was looking at like Puck and someone who's also a great magician that lives in Orlando. So Puck was just saying he was in Miami Airport. He was doing a lot of cruises then. He kept bumping into all these other magicians at the airport. Oh, here's a picture with me and Sean Farquhar. And I'm thinking, I never run into anybody at the airport. This is in my head. I never run into anybody. Never run into anybody. I'm thinking this on my phone. As I look up, Ricky Jay sits right in the seat right across from me. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So there's Ricky Jay. And I don't know at the time if he was his wife, his handler, what she was, but a lady sits down next to him. And I'm like, I'm trying to be focused, right? So I stood up and I go, excuse me, aren't you Ricky Jay? I mean, I know who he is, but excuse me, aren't you Ricky Jay? She starts nudging. I'm like, you know, and he goes, yes, I am. And I go, not only am I a fan of your magic because I'm a magician, but I'm also a fan of your movies. I started naming a couple of movies, Boogie Nights, this and that. She's nudging. Oh, this is the real deal. You know, I tell about, 52 on one poster, and I have this, and I have, I'm naming all the memorabilia, Ricky Jay memorabilia I have. And she's giving more of a nudge. I'm like, okay, this is I've got him. I've got him worked over. He's smooth over. And I said, hey, would you mind if I got a picture with you? And he went, and I can't do the voice, but he said, no. And he said it so loud and went through me that he turned me into a 12-year-old boy. At that moment, like I just curled up into this little ball, right? And I try to be calm, and I go, I totally understand. I sit down, but in my head, I'm going, nobody knows who you are in this airport except for me. And I'm getting all worked up in my head, like I cannot believe. And then now I didn't know until later years, Ricky never took pictures of anybody. Yes.
That was my understanding of him as well. I was lucky in that when you did get a picture with this guy.
Oh yeah, but let me just finish the Ricky Jay story real quick. So I was very upset, and then here's where Ricky Jay redeemed himself, just because I want to end on a really good Ricky Jay note. All of a sudden, his shadow was above me as I'm sitting there, and I thought, oh no, in my head, he's going to yell at me about something, or He goes, I bet you I have something that you don't have, and I'm like, he gives me his business card, an honest business card. I wish I had it right here. It's in the other room, but it just says Ricky Jay, and that's it on the front. On the back is completely blank, and in his handwriting is like calligraphy. It's beautiful, and it wrote to Eric, best wishes or whatever, Ricky Jay, and that beautiful. And he hands it to me. He goes, not too many people have one of those. And I went, well, now I don't think he's such a bad guy. You know what I mean? So,
really,
yeah.
really. Yeah, I got a taste. It's interesting because whenever I met someone when I was younger,
yeah,
I had brushes with fame.
Yeah.
But I never once asked for a photograph or anything like, or even
no,
an autograph.
Usually I don't, but it was Ricky Jay. And I thought,
no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I got a friend of mine
this guy again,
Florida, who, if he beats you, you're famous. You're going to have a picture with him. I don't care.
I know. Yeah. I have friends.
That's Michael. But
I knew it, Michael.
I learned when I got the Diamond Horseshoe gig, you don't realize how high profile that is.
Yeah.
You're there 5 days a week, 5 times a day. Everybody and their sister has now seen you.
Yeah.
And if I went out to dinner someplace on the property, invariably someone would come up and bother me.
Yeah.
And and of course you can't, as a Disney performer, you can't go get away from, you can't do that.
Yes.
But so because of that, I've always been very respectful of that. And I have met some of the coolest people in the universe and have nothing to show for it.
Well, especially actors and stuff like that, if you do magic, they're almost like a layman. They go whatever. So in this case, I felt like more like Ricky was a magician, not a actor. And I'm going to extend it just a little bit more because just last year, more Ricky Jay stuff kind of came up. All right. So I was an extra in The Right Stuff. It's it's all about the astronauts. And
yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. And so the main guy, Patrick Adams, who's also in Suits. He was Mike in Suits, but he also was the last season of Sneaky Pete. He was the bad guy, and Ricky Jay was also the bad guy in it. So I kept thinking the whole time, you're not supposed to talk to celebrities, when you're an extra, but I'm like, man, I just want to talk to him about Ricky Jay. You know what I mean? I just want to, if I could just bump into him, like washing my hands or something, wouldn't that be amazing? As I'm thinking this, I'm washing my hands, he's right next to me, Patrick Adams.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, and I go, can I ask you something? Of course, he thought it was going to be some stalking question about him. I go, did Ricky Jay do any magic for you on the set? And he just loosened all up. He goes, no, by that time, Ricky's hands were so bad. If you notice all his scenes, he was sitting down because he was already very ill. But he goes, But the moments I spent with Ricky were the most magical moments I've ever had in my life.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad to know that, but I knew that already.
Yeah.
You know, from what everybody told me, he was actually a pretty nice guy.
Yes. I
get to
think
know
he
him.
tried to, that was almost like his character in a way about.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, my brushes. I was at the Magic Castle on my 50th birthday, and I was taught. I left Chris, my husband. I left him. We were going to the show, and I left him sitting there, and he started talking to. Now, excuse me. Okay, you know who I am. You know what I am. Okay.
Yeah.
I came back, and he was talking to one of what was probably one of the most handsome men I've ever seen in my entire life. You know, one of these kind of Hollywood star, handsome kind of guys.
Yeah. They're all
And
in
they're
LA.
talking about this and that and the kids, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And we're talking, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, this guy walks up and says, "Hey, we're almost going to go into the show. Are you ready?" And I looked. It was Neil Patrick Harris.
Wow.
Chris was talking to his husband.
Yeah.
David. Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, you're Neil Patrick Harris. He goes, last time I checked, nicest guy you ever want to meet. And the really funny part of it was Neil had purchased a piece of film from me. I had film because I worked at the Haunted Mansion, and I did the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, he's a Disney fanatic too.
And I had access to things that nobody else had access to. And I had miles of the Madame Leota film.
Wow.
Literally. It was just piles of this shit on the floor in the basement down below. And I had just took a couple of spools of it and took it home. Never thought much of it. Made a lot of money. That would probably get me in trouble. I don't care.
At this point,
it makes no difference. I'm not in there anymore. But, and I said to Neil, I said, you really are? He goes, yeah. He says, I said, do you remember I talked to you from Tokyo? He says, you're the guy with the film. You asked me if I'm Doogie. And we had a lovely conversation.
Nice.
And we still actually correspond.
Wow, that's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
No, everybody, because I've done quite a few extra work on commercials and TV and stuff. Right. And every person that's a cameraman or anything I've ever become friends with on the set, they all say Neil Patrick Harris is the nicest guy in Hollywood. He's always on time on the set. He's always nice to all the camera crew. He knows that they're going to make him look good, so he treats them really well. There's never been anybody who's said anything bad about Neil Patrick Harris ever.
No, I can't imagine there would be. He's such a nice guy, and his husband is lovely as well.
Yeah.
Very lovely people. We've got Eric is there. Jack, can you read that? Because I can't.
Yeah, he says, Eric, is there a goof Ty Burrell when you meet him?
Oh, okay. Boy, I'm always worried that stuff's going to get back to me. Actually, if you watch any of his other movies, now don't watch that TV show. That's how you think of him, as that character. But all the other movies, if you ever watch him, find any other movies, he's always a bad guy or a slimy guy or a bad guy.
Yes.
He is more like that character. He is. And then when you meet him, you're like, oh, that's why he did those characters so well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And your description of Ricky saying no, is very indicative of the fact that he was one of the best James Bond villains.
Yes, he was.
He really was.
Yeah. Was it GoldenEye, I think?
I should, I'm
I
very
think it is. I think it's GoldenEye.
Of having being an actor as well as a magician, but the whole Houdin thing, the magician's an actor playing the part of the magician, whatever. I think you've got that as well. There's no doubt in my mind you've got that. There's no doubt in my mind you could definitely do some of that kind of stuff. There's no doubt.
You know what? I just don't know how those guys memorize. Okay, let's say I memorize lines. I just don't know how you memorize it and then get emotion to it. You know what I mean? That's where because even when I MC, I have to learn the doctor's name or whatever, and I learn it, or if I use a teleprompter or whatever tricks I'm using to do it, but I still feel it's not 100% from my heart. And when I see great acting, it just looks like they're just flowing. And I feel like I'm just a little too stiff on stuff like that, you know?
I think you'd be fine. Although I can tell you right now that this old man can't memorize for crap anymore.
Yeah.
They give me a script and I'm like, I am so screwed.
Yeah.
I am so screwed. And it's and more's the pity because there's some wonderful stuff I would love to be able to do that I can't do anymore.
Yes, you can. Just shut up.
Maybe I can.
Yes,
We'll see.
you can.
We'll see.
So there.
But what, Eric? Now let me ask you this. Let's talk about the pandemic, because I know being in this business that you have been busy to a certain degree during the pandemic with stuff.
Yes, I have been putting out some of my magic. Yes.
How is that going for you?
Really good. Want me to do one of them for you?
I would. Well,
Would you?
Yeah, I think I can do this.
Real
here.
quick, guys. Guys, it was Tomorrow Never Dies.
You guys say you
Tomorrow
can.
Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies
okay?
was Ricky's
Tomorrow
show.
Never Dies?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is this good in frame?
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
All right, Jack, you're going to help me out. All right.
I am. Okay.
All right. Right here, I have 3 coasters. I have a beer, a wine, and a whiskey. 3 coasters. All right. Let me move this over here. In just a moment, not yet, I'm going to have you pick one of the coasters, either the beer, the wine, or the whiskey.
Okay.
Now, I've already made a prediction. I am so confident I know which one you're going to pick. I'm willing to wager $20 on it. So if I'm wrong, I'm going to have to mail you this 20. All right. But if I'm right, I get to keep my 20. I think that's a pretty fair deal.
Okay.
All right. Now, Jack, a lot of times people will go with the drink they mostly drink. Other people will pick the opposite, thinking they're going to fool me to get the $20. And there's a third option. You just don't know what to go with, and you just pick the third option. So right now there's a beer, the wine, and the whiskey. It's your choice. I made my prediction. I'm pretty confident I know what you're going to pick. Pick one, the beer, the wine, and the whiskey.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Oh, good. I get to keep my $20 bill. That was easy. No, I'll tell you why. See, on the 20, I printed something on the back.
Yep.
I knew you'd pick the whiskey.
Aha.
Right there. And so that's my 20. And that goes away just like that. And that's called Pick Your Poison. A real easy. Anybody in Magic knows the principle, but I made it more adult than when we were kids. And I should probably even get in trouble, but do you want the sneak peek of the other version coming out?
Yes.
Oh yes, absolutely.
All right,
because I already happen to know.
Right. All right.
I know, and I want to see it.
All right. So that's the adult version. And I thought that was great, right? Like, well, because I wanted an adult version. Well, then I kept getting people saying, you know, I'm in Utah or I'm a pastor. I like the same thing. And I go, well, but they're coasters. There's so this is the sneak peek. This one comes out on my birthday, January 29th.
Aha.
And this is called Wet Your Whistle. Same principle, same thing, except for the people who want non-alcoholic version, we have juice.
Oh, that's excellent.
Soda.
Brilliant.
And coffee. And see how the coffee looks like a coffee cup.
Yep.
The juice with the straw.
Yep. I love that. And the soda with the cap.
So this is the new one coming out. Hopefully I won't get in trouble from my Bill Abbott for showing it before it comes out.
Now I can say, because, Al and I were talking about this afternoon.
Yeah.
And he told me very briefly about what you just showed me. And the words almost came out of my mouth before Al said them, but never leave. See, even Harry. Hey, listen, look at that.
Yeah.
What does that say?
I love it.
Nice. From Harrison Carroll. Never leave a buck on the table, buddy.
That's exactly what Bill Abbott, who makes me put everything out, he said. And I'm like, after 50 emails from different people, I've even had people that were like, hey, just give me who you get some manufactured from and I'll get it done. There's a point where you go, I better get this out, so.
Yes.
You gotta get it before somebody else does. At least you got the first one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then the Chinese will get the rest.
Yeah.
But no, that's an awesome effect. That it happens to be, believe it, probably both of us was one of the first things we ever bought in a magic shop. Yes.
Yeah, and it was mind blowing. I don't know which version you had, but I had the star, the triangle and the square. Wait,
That's
no,
one I've
circle.
seen.
Yes,
That's
it
one
was
I've seen.
Yes, and you had the pen, the little pen, and
Yep.
the Royal Magic put it out. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And or the
Mental
magic shop,
choice.
the magic shop in question produced it because
Yeah.
great trick, great concept, excellent concept.
Yep.
Well, and I think we've always liked that principle. I just can't walk around with a little pen. And then the reason, if you don't mind me jumping all over this conversation, but the reason I came up with Pick Your Poison, this was not going to be a separate item, to be honest. I have a bar bets kit coming out. And if you don't mind if I plug something, I have a new website.
We're all about shameless plug.
Okay, yeah, I have a new website, barbetsandtricks.com, and
Mhm.
it's all just about bar bets. That's why I'm doing bar bets and tricks and all. And I have a bar bets kit, the first real bar bets kit that has actually stuff in it. Instead of just teaching you bar bets, they actually have gimmicks and stuff to win free drinks when you can go back out. And by the time you practice these, when the bar's open, you're not going to have any money. You better get some free drinks. So this was going to go in the kit, and Mr. Abbott says to me, Eric, that's not going in the kit. That's like a magician's trick, not for laymen. Yours are. So he said, yep, thank you. So he said, we're going to do this, and it was great. I don't know how many hundreds of them we sold, but they're a really good seller, really good.
Well, what's beautiful about that thing is your average guy can do it without any.
Correct. Yes.
And so basic, and especially now, what I just put up there, folks, if you're watching this, tell your local bartender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because those days, bar bets and tricks and that sort of thing used to be a hot commodity,
And I'm kind of bringing it back. If you follow me on TikTok, I've only been on it for about a week now, but I've got like 70 or 100,000 views already off my bar bets on TikTok in 1 week. Yeah. Yeah. Want me to show you one of my bar bets?
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah. This is good. I'll set this up here so you guys can see a little better. A little bar bet that you guys can do when you're, at a friend's house, at the holiday party, at a bar. And we're going to use this. I think it's a bottle of champagne, but a bottle of wine. Anything will work. All right. So the bet is, I bet you I can drink out of this bottle without removing any aluminum or the cork of this bottle, not using a straw, just this bottle. I can drink out of the bottle without removing the end or the cork. Jack, do you think it's possible?
Actually, knowing you, I do know it's possible, but normally I would say
Right.
no,
So
I
you
that's
probably give me a
possible.
drink to learn the trick, though. Wouldn't you want to? It'd be worth you buying me a drink, right, to learn how to do it. Okay. Are you ready?
Having been a
Now,
bartender.
I'm going to drink out of the bottle without removing the wrapper or the cork. Are you ready?
That one I knew.
Yep. They all have dimples in the bottom.
There's a fella out there. Well, there was a fella out there. Sadly, another one that we lost not too awful long ago.
Give him
And
what
Harrison,
I love it.
if Harrison is still here, he'll know this name. Named Carl Norman.
Carl Norman. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Let me tell you something. That guy made a career at the Forks Hotel out of doing bar bets.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And Carl was the king. He knew every damn one of them.
There's a million of them, and I'll tell you what's old is new.
You betcha. You betcha. When I used to go to Finger Flingers, Defectors, you had the Carl Normans, the Jerry Andrus. Jeez.
Oh my, yeah. He's a
There's
really
Harrison just said absolutely. Jerry Andrus, Harrison Carroll, a fella named Jim Gaber, who was a pain in the ass, but that's all right.
There's always a bunch of them.
Howie Schwartzman.
No comment.
And here's a name I know you're going to know. Jay Marshall.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I grew up in Wisconsin, but I was right on the border, so I spent most of my time in Chicago.
Oh, my God. Jay Marshall. When I went up first time I went up to Magic Inc., I mean, I knew Jay from Finger Flingers. And that was the great thing about Finger Flingers is even, I don't care who you were, from way up the top echelon, right down to the flunkies, everybody was we all worshiped the great guys. We all did, of course. But everybody was a friend.
Yes.
That's the way it was. And Jay was such a terrific guy. And when I went into Magic Inc. the first time, he remembered me from Finger Flingers. How cool is that? And he gave me a video. And if you don't have it, I will somehow get a copy of it for you, called Table Crap.
Oh, no, I've got it. Yep. My
Of
Stephen's
course you
Magic
do.
Emporium.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
And it's like a Bible of this kind of
Yes.
stuff, right?
Yep.
You know, so Eric, we have done an hour. And
Perfect.
this has been such a joy for me.
It was great for me. I kind of needed just to feel like I'm talking with people again. So I appreciate you thinking of me.
It was awesome. Happy. Hang on a second. Harrison, J-Line, ask what room are you in? He replied, room? It's only a 3-day convention.
Yeah.
That's Jay Marshall, ladies and gentlemen. That's Jay Marshall. So we were lucky to know these people. And I'm lucky to know you, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm honored that you would come on the show.
I'm honored that you asked me because I know you know so many people. So I was like, boy, somebody had to cancel for you to call me. So I appreciate
Nope.
it.
Actually,
Go ahead, Jack.
I was going to say, actually, there were 3 that canceled, but no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You have been one of my choices right from the beginning.
He has actually been talking about you for quite a while.
With everything that's been going on, I had to get to a new year to get there. You know,
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a weird November and December, end of November and December.
A little bit.
But that's okay because
Right. Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you for having me on.
It's been a delight. And ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Erick Olson. There we go. Thank you so much, Eric. You have a great day.
Thank you,
Please take care of
Good
yourself.
night, Jack.
Good night. It was wonderful to meet you, sort of meet you. You know what?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll jump up behind you. You'll be freaking out. Ha!
Take care, buddy.
Oh,
that was fun. That was fun. I'm thrilled to see the people who come in to see the show, you know, to talk on the show. So much fun. Dan Irwin, such great guys. We are very lucky in this community to have the performers that we have. And I mean that in general.
Yes.
And I want to throw this out there right now, folks. I don't care what you do in this business, and Jack will tell you the same thing.
Yep.
I don't care what you do in this business, costumer, stage manager, whatever you do, folks, a magician, anything. Magicians seem to be quite popular on my show, which is a thrill.
Wonder why.
Thank you, Mark. But Mark is one of our regulars in here. But I want you to send me an email.
Put the email in.
To me. I think that's what my email looks like. Captain Joe Zimmer at gmail.com. It has nothing to do with the military. It has to do with the fact that I was the captain of a pirate ship once upon a time.
Yes.
And send me an email. I want you on the show. Our next 2 weeks are filled up. We have Mr. Mark Greenlee, whose photo I have not uploaded here yet, much to my...
You too, Harrison. You too. Take care, Harrison.
Take care, Harrison, buddy. It's so good to have you with us. Mr. Mark Greenlee will be on next week, who is a very fine actor, done some great stuff, and has now become a high-end real estate broker, in-house for high-end real estate in New York City. So we're going to get the ins and outs of New York City, as well as talk about the touring stuff and what's going on with him now. It's going to be a great show. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This a week from tonight. I don't know the dates. Don't ask me the dates. I don't know.
21st.
20. Thank you. And then the following week, oh my gosh, this fella right here, Mr. Lee Andrews. Who is Lee Andrews? Well, you know what? If you are a performer, a kids performer, or anything like that, you will know.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you, Al. You will know who Lee Andrews is. Lee is this guy, okay? Lee does. He's a clown, really. And Lee does a great show at fairs and that sort of thing. That was a photo with his lovely wife and adorable child. That's a little bit old because that kid's older now. But Lee does fair shows. He's got a fifth wheel that the stage comes out of the side of it, and he's got a living quarters in there.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I've seen
And
him before. He's amazing, amazing.
One other thing he does, and let me tell you, I hope I can find some of the video that he has posted in the past of this. His wife makes his costumes. He is
That's
Santa.
gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Oh God, are we going to have Santa and Mrs. Claus stories?
Oh God, yes, we're gonna fill that hour. Boy, are we gonna fill that hour, big time. Jack, as always, such a delight to have you here with me on the show. Such an incredible delight just to have you in my life.
And someday he'll pay me, guys. Someday, no, he won't.
Yeah, I wouldn't
take it. I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet it. I don't make a damn thing. But
always a joy, my dear. Always a joy. You're one of my best friends in the world. You know that.
You take care of yourself, okay? I love you. Be good. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, and it's only me. I'm all that's left. Not a whole heck of a lot. Kids, it has been thrilling to have you all tonight. Truly, and I mean that sincerely. And when I say it's wonderful to have a lady like Jack in my life, it's wonderful to have all of you in my life. And I mean all of my friends who are out there. I know many of you watch after the fact, and that's great. But I want you to spread the word, tell about this show, because we've got something very special here and some very great performers on board. Take care. I love each and every one of you. Remember that. Go out there. By the way, Fred Rogers' wife died today. Say it, think of her. And don't forget to say those people's names, okay? Because, you die twice. Once when you take your last breath, and once again when they stop saying your name. And with that, I'm going to say Christopher John Haidt. Okay, that was self-indulgent for me. I love you. Good night. Look for the helpers. They're out there. They're helping. When you find them, you jump on board and become one. And last but not least, as I used to say in my old shows, good night, and may your God go with you. I love you. Bye-bye.